What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Roots. So I'm going to review the third album by post-hardcore band Emery. Basically, this product is called I'm Only a Man, and it came out in the fall of 2007. Now, the fair about this particular product is this is a request to me by Larry, the Batman fan, as far as this fair is going to happen, so I definitely want to get to the fair of this product. Basically, this is like some post-hour kind of embrace in like an alt-rock and hardcore type fashion as far as those ordeals would kind of happen. Definitely within the pitch of just getting to that particular type noise, very similar to folks like Under Oath and Pierce the Veil and Attack within those particular compositions. Was just a great kind of evening type fare. This is very much amidst the hours of past like 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock p.m. within those pitches. Just the particular conduct of like a usual kind of slag of like a lengthy day. Some just within relative touch senses, summer type fare within the pitch, but just more within the product of like the after effects of like good vanilla loud pack to kind of have. We're basically like being like a commercial kind of hardcore type album. Now I don't like hardcore. I'm getting more to that genre pitches like that. It's not as super common that I touch bass, but I need to start touching bass with it more. This is kind of the fair as far as saying folks within that particular variety, like Under Oath and some of those type ones, and Pierce the Veil within the fashion. Now, the composition about this particular album within the pitch about Emery is their fashion as to how they comprise their kind of song material. It's pretty similar to Pierce the Veil, just with a more sporadic type fashion. It's just not the same variety as far as like the aspect of like similar type verses within the product, and the chorus type fare has like a mismatch, not to say mismatch in terms of quality, but this kind of random and more sporadic type aspect is the way that this particular fare kind of happens. It's very much off the top and kind of more dismantled within the pitch, but I like the ordeal behind it. Now this is seemingly dismantled, but it's actually not. It's full bound kind of crazy. It's not really screamo. It's really not screamo type blisters. It just really has like the particular dredge about it. This is like the fare if like, you know, you were to say someone like Serge Tankian or one of those type folks is kind of within that alt rock and alt metal and hardcore type fashion, where to take Ritalin pitches like that. Just a little bit more comprised amongst the aspect as far as something that's hardcore, but this kind of relies more on like the dredge and kind of the emo ruminating and letting off steam, more so than it's more comprised of like the emo kind of letting off steam as opposed to like the format of like the usual kind of Shriko type formats that kind of go along with it, which makes it interesting for a hardcore album. It's just the pitch. I mean, there are some turn up type moments on here. I would definitely say the party song and the movie song have those particular type conducts about it, but a lot of this is pretty good dredge, just with an aspect of like some affluent kind of McAllister's type music and places like that. Just some joyride type runs within the pitch, like the usual kind of conduct, but just a little bit more steadfast within the tone as far as those aspects going to happen. Just pretty centered within the conduct. So this is kind of fair, like, yeah, just like I was saying, just an emo type artist, thinking of like Billy Joe Armstrong and like Patrick Stump, some of those type folks, and Brendan Urie, some of those type folks, just with a lot more centeredness. Just not so much full bound on Ritalin to say like their squares are boring. Usually when you say Ritalin, this kind of means they're more square like and within pitches like that, but it's just kind of the composition. It's just surprising kind of getting an emo type album and stuff that's just not, you know, full festive, kind of full off the chain within those pitches, but it just kind of has the format of just that. Emery is basically like an emo type version of Trapped and Alien Ant Farm, and Emery is definitely like a more emo and hardcore type version of Trapped and Weezer and Alien Ant Farm as far as those fits can have. So definitely within the pitch as far as those formats would kind of go. But it's just the centerness as far as just kind of getting towards the conduct like that particular blitzing typeness within the aspect of some good type fare. So very much the composition, like some joyrides and kind of embrace within like the product of it. Just I do like the tone and just like some embellish within aspects, but just kind of centeredness. I do feel like maybe in a minor type sense, another song like the party song would have been pretty apple within pitch. I mean, the movie song definitely does within that particular type variety, but it feels like hardcore should kind of have some degree of screamo in there within those particular pitches. Just interesting. This is kind of more vanilla hardcore, just kind of within the pitch. As far as something that's emo in like a hardcore type sense that just feels more commercial bounce. It's just good aspect, has a relative aspect within like some pretty commonplace type fares, or just something that's alternative but tries to bring it more to like the forefront, and it's excellent type ordeal for that. So this is good type pitch. Yeah, seemingly there's only one single off this product. Now there were 3 songs that came out before the album came out within those pitches. After the party song was Rock and Rule, and then After the Devil Beats His Wife, and then Don't Bore Us Get to the Chorus. I'm going to talk as if there were 2 singles, because After the Party song, the second most popular song off this album according to Spotify, is World Away. So I'm going to talk about both those ones. But basically, to say I know for a fact the party song is a single. It has a music video for it, good type ordeal. So the party song is like a great glared kind of alt metal, kind of evening embrace, kind of get within the product of it. Just some turn up for like some shrill activity pitches like that. Overall hot type one. Now paying attention more full bound to the lyrics pitches like that is kind of within the ordeal as far as kind of having like some warning signs within the product of just the after effects like heavy kind of going out and hit crunk type numbers, pitches like that, just from the product to kind of questioning how full bound the degree as to how much the turn up should be to the viciousness of it. But it's just kind of the product as far as saying some good type ordeals, kind of have this particular song. It has a little bit more centeredness and responsibility about it, but it's a good type pitch, kind of get this particular product because it is a blitzing type one with the aspects. So it does have those ordeals. Very excellent type festive type turn up within a hardcore and alt, within a hardcore and emo type sense and a vanilla type aspect. Not sure it's full bound as to how high this chart and like the rock charts pitches like that, with some good type ordeals. And World Away is a nice one as well. It's like some evening surfing to kind of get here, just a glaze kind of post hour dredge. I would definitely say smoke nice to this one. Definitely some ordeals like that. It's mellow, but it's just some steady errands within those pitches. So it's just kind of the fares. So it's just that particular type fashion. I like the fair, just like 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock p.m. type haze. Some of those particular type products of it, just easy kind of embrace for like the after effect. A little bit more of a metal type one, but just kind of the product of this. Picking up some groceries, some of those type fairs within pitch, just getting some standard food or drive through, some of those type aspects. Just kind of a coasting type song within pitch, but just has a good product. Easy type one to have some red eyes to within the pitch, just within the format. Now it's not as full bound this album designates within the full bound type pitch. I'm not sure as to how heavily like the smoke type product will kind of be on here, but it's just the pitch as far as saying a couple of these are a good assortment of these, kind of have some of those type most of the extra type fairs, so it really has that particular fair about it. But it's just basically like one of those type ones that Weezer and Green Day we kind of do with more of the aspect of just something similar to like the Boulevard of Broken Dreams, but just not as sad within the pitch. It's kind of like basic kind of product for something of just like relief and settle in touch song for like the pitch behind. Just kind of post hour kind of 5 o'clock p.m. post hour kind of 5 o'clock p.m. kind of music as far as this first game. But definitely dope. It's like the second most popular song on here. But yeah, the only song I don't recommend is just From Crib to Coffin, which I basically would have recommended that song if it wouldn't have been an almost 11-minute song. It's just kind of the pitch as far as saying just had the composition, just more, I don't know why they made it to that particular length as far as it was supposed to happen. They probably, I mean, it was a good composition within the song as far as it was supposed to happen. Like some good primers, just like Don't Bore Us, Get to the Chorus, some of those type ones, other type pitches like that, as They Can't Stop the Killer, some of those type products with them. It's just kind of fair. It's probably 4 or 5 minutes lengthier than what it probably need to be within those pitches. 6 minutes would have even been pretty good within those pitches, but just it didn't. It just was lengthier than it probably needed to be. But yeah, then the product of the fair behind this album here, just being able to say some of these. Another nice immediate one within those fashions would be the movie song. This is a very good combination, like a very excellent combination with the party songs. It's a good combo with the party song, like I was saying, spicy kind of Friday and free time kind of embrace kind of within those aspects. Just some alt blitzes as far as those fairs were going to go. Kind of some good downtown type fashions, having a smoke break with your pals, some type pitches within the format, maybe even being at a movie theater lobby, some type pitches, not inside. Kind of being in like a movie theater kind of parking lot lobby within pitches like that, but not to the extent of loitering some of those type fairs, but just the pitch like some standard socialized, some of those type products, like some activity, just downtown type aspects within the tone, just Friday type material and pitches, some of those type spices. So good type ordeal. You think your nickel's slick, but I got your penny change is a nice one as well. It's like a hardcore kind of after work shift embrace, kind of get within those conducts. Just a great flip mode, I'd have to say here, just the product of getting towards like the product once things are done, some type aspects, real jazzed up within the ordeal as far as this pitch can have. So just the pitch as far as Typical kind of under oath and attack type fare. Some folks like that. Pierce the Veil, just those particular type fashions, just something to listen to once. It's like 3:45, 4:15 pitches like that, just within the after product that just got done with things. Some of those particular type products, a good hardcore type song for that embrace, usual type product. What makes a man is a nice one as well. It's like a nice acoustic kind of alt rock gauze kind of get within these tones here. This reminds like Marcy Playground, some of those type folks, Third Eye Blind folks like that. Some of those particular type ordeals. Other folks like Tonic. It's like a good days kind of home stretch type music within the tones. So just that typical kind of gazing within the pitch, just more opiate like, not so much full band opiate like the particular appeal, like something from like those 90s type fairs, but just kind of within the pitch, it is something that just has a real kind of like transcendent type feeling about it, but just very, very homebound and homely within those pitches, just more neighborhood and residential type grazing within the after effect, just the particular tone and just getting towards like sunset period and pitches like that, just kind of within the product of another breeze type song for like the after effects of post hours, good type fare. I do like the haziness of After the Devil Beats His Wife. This is a real nice one. This has similar haze vibes in the first verse to Wanted Dead or Alive by Bon Jovi. Pitches like that. Good type tunes for that particular fare. This is just some Heartland slime as far as this pitch kind of happen. And the second verse has a little bit more revved up type venue noise within pitch just for some and the second verse has a little bit more revved up type venue noise within pitch just for like the product to like some excitement, some of those particular type fares about it. So just a pitch like that typical kind of slime about it is Heartland type gauze pitches like that, some neon kind of noise. This album does not really full bound take that complete direction, but it's just a good nice one for like that particular fare, just like some smoke is just within like a typical bar hop and lounge type places. Some of that first for like some socialized, just some more kind of simp type music within the tone, and just like some after hours product to just having a beer or two or a few more than that just in those pitches. Don't Bore Us, Get to the Chorus is a nice one as well. It's like a golden kind of post-hour frog to kind of get within these aspects a little bit healthier. It's like some McAllister. It's definitely like some McAllisters and kind of Wingstop type joyrides pitches like that within those ordeals. Just get like a brief snack, something with an aspect, just a green tea, some of those type aspects within the tone, and just like some it's a good alternative and hardcore kind of enjoyment within the products. So like this extra type noise and Galavan as far as this pair is going to have just excellent with the pitch, good type fare. You need to start finding some more folks like this particular folk and Underoath. They need to start finding some more folks like this particular folk and Under Oath and Pierce the Veil, folks like that within those ordeals. But it's a good type product. But yeah, Rock and Rule's another quality one as well. I'd have to say is like a glared kind of hardcore kind of venue white noise. I'd say within the product of it, just some emo makeshift pitches like that. Good supply run type music. I'd say just good for some extra rumination. So it's just kind of the fare. So yeah, Rock and Roll's just kind of some alternative kind of makeshift within pitches like that. It's kind of commercial emo type music within pitch. It is something for like the product once more things like Green Day and folks like that and like Fall Out Boy kind of get. Not so much tiresome, but it's good to have some extra type fares in the product to like more further rotation within those aspects. As far as those fares kind of have, so just extra within pitch, but just rumination type within fare. Just kind of it's kind of some extra thoughts kind of chug along as far as those fares kind of have. Just traverse and traffic kind of extra noise within pitch. Just some thoughts just in an outing type sense. Good traffic dredge pitches like that, I'd say. And then Story About a Man with the Bad Heart's a nice one as well. It's like a steadfast kind of day after hours chug along, I'd say, within the pitch. Good for date, evenings pitches like that. Bringing a bell along for the ride. Some of those particular type pitches. Great for restaurant type scenes. Some of those type fares, just evening scene type products. You know, once again, McAllister's, Wingstop type places are more full bound type places. Sports bars, some of those type aspects. Getting like a beer mug going out for bowling. Some of those type pitches in the form of just something within a tear up a disc. Kind of within a conduit type moment, more so within the aspect. Not quite as sleazed as like After the Devil Beats His Wife, but kind of more within the aspect like a more steadfast and just centered type version, like a song like the party song or the movie song. Probably party song's probably the most vicious. I'd say movie song's like a notch or two beneath that, just more socialized within fashion, more outing type fare. And then I'd probably say Story About a Man with the Bad Heart's just kind of more restaurant evening scene type aspect, like some standard kind of activity, just in a more or less typical type fashion. But it's just the pitch as far as saying definitely within those products. So it does have excellent type socialized within the fair as far as this album kind of having. So it's good type ordeal. So this album I'm going to give like a 9.75 out of 10 within those pitches. Pretty much because there's only 11 songs within the product. Not like that's a problem within the pitch, but just being able to say this when there's less songs and you don't recommend all of them, it's just kind of fair. But you know, 9.75 is just a minor notch from being like a 10 out of 10. So this pitch as far as saying, but the social score is going to get a 9.75 as well. I do like these ones on here. I kind of feel like the promotion was a little bit briefer within the product of it, especially considering that this was their third album. It would have felt like they probably needed another song like the party song. I definitely think the movie song should have been a single pitch just like that. After the Devil Beats His Wife would have been a pretty nice one. World Away would have been a pretty nice one for like the product to like the fair. So just like some evening surfing zones type products to just like getting errands done, just typical kind of alt rock music pitches like that. I'd say other songs like Don't Bore Us, Get to the Chorus, and like Story About a Man with a Bad Heart, or some further type ones for like some activities, some socialized type fare within evening scene type product and the embrace of it, some good type fares for that. I'm not sure if I talked about Can't Stop the Killer. I think I might have talked about this one, but I'll go ahead and talk about it again before I get to the rest. Not sure if I talked about Can't Stop the Killer. Can't Stop the Killer is like a makeshift kind of emo dredge can get within the conducts of it. This reminds like Under Oath and Alien Ant Farm Zones type pitches within it. It's just good for like a sunset kind of drive within the aspects as far as those pairs kind of go along with that. Can't Stop the Killer is like a pleasant kind of social jaunt as far as those pairs kind of happen. Just kind of within the aspects of kind of plainer with an aspect, not plain in terms of quality, but just a little bit more vanilla with an aspect like the energy towards it. Just kind of a simple type one for like the product, like some step out. Probably more of like a 7 out of 10 in terms of like the fare on this from the product, but that's not a bad thing within the product because it is a high grade song within those pitches. But this kind of the fare, just pleasant kind of dusk hours pitches like that for just grabbing like a quick bite to eat or a little bit of rhythmic jive, something of those relative type pitches. Just good type fare. So yeah, this album has that in particular fare. I just would say the jaunts on here are pretty good within the aspect. Even if it's not as full-bound feral within the pitch, you do get some moments for some step-outs. So this is not square like it's just kind of within the pitch. It's just more centered within the aspect. It's a good type tone. Get some of these. I definitely feel like songs like the party song and the movie song are some pretty heavy type blitzers within the aspects that does have those moments. Further songs like Can't Stop the Killer, Story About a Man with a Bad Heart, and Don't Bore Us, Get to the Chorus, or some other type ones for like some socialized within the product. So it has those particular moments in addition to some evening embracing. It's the product of like figuring out what's going to happen after like the moments of like the flip mode of just getting done with things like the responsible type tasks are taken care of. So good type fare. So 9.75. The reason why I was getting 9.75 is just because there need to be more promotion about it. Maybe a single, something like that. But other than that, it's just a particular fare that does have the moments on here, but it's just more low key. Now, not sure as to how much this band charged, but some excellent type pitches. So in terms of the future, not really as full, but unsure what Emery's been up to in these recent times. Like I said, this is a request by Larry the Batman fan, so I'm going to get to some more of these within the fairs behind as far as those particular fairs going to happen. This is definitely a pretty vicious virtual classic within those aspects. I mean, it basically is a classic within the tones. 9.75 is a classic within those pitches as well. This is the product, just the modern type natural within those fairs. But this kind of pitch as far as saying, just an aspect as far as the particular tone, this being a vicious post-hardcore type album, an emo, vanilla kind of commercial hard. It's definitely kind of a vanilla and commercial hardcore album within those pitches. Definitely does a lot for the emo scene. Some of those type fairs, despite the fact that it didn't have as much full-blown kind of promotional kind of success just with the fit. It's definitely an attempt to make a vanilla and commercial kind of hardcore album within those pitches, and definitely succeeds in a lot of senses within ordeals what it did within the aspects. Definitely needed to make more noise than it did.